Game week 13 predictions. The season is continuing. The title race is going. And we have some amazing games this week, like Chelsea, Arsenal. We're going to predict it with Thogdad.
Thogden has done one to Qatar this week, so we brought in Thog Plant. And let's face it, that plant has got a lot better ball knowledge than Thogden.
Yes, we're in different locations. I'm clearly not in London. I'm actually in Doha. 5 sports in 50 hours. Coming to a main channel near you soon. Subscribe to both channels, Thogden Talks and Thogden. The first game is
Brentford against Burnley. It's 13th against 19th. It's London against Lancashire.
God, it feels good to be a leader, by the way. Can we just talk about those points?
The scores on the doors. Thogdad got 8 last week and Thogden got 7. And he was giving it all of that chat, wasn't it? Overall, 93 points each.
How am I going to lead my points? I got to keep getting them right? And people are backing my predictions right now. Things are looking great. The comments that are hating on me, that fuels me even more. We're going to start with a Brentford home win against Burnley because Burnley have lost 3 in a row. Brentford, okay, yeah, they lost to Brighton, but at the G-Tech, you can't bet against them. Igor Thiago's in everybody's FPL team, and I'll tell you now, don't captain Haaland this week, captain Igor Thiago. Differential, goal scorer, he's going to get you the point, and he's going to score a brace. Brentford are going to win this game 2-0.
2 teams who lost last week, 2 teams who rarely draw a game of football. Now Brentford went down to Brighton for the battle of the owners and lost. It was all about that Thiago penalty miss in almost the last minute, but they are a good home side and they're playing a team in Burnley who've lost the last 3 and are pretty woeful on their travels. 18 goals conceded in 6 away games. This could easily be like a 3-0, 3-1, 4-1 to Brentford, but on their day, Burnley put up a fight. So I'm going to go Brentford 2, Burnley 1.
Okay, yeah, Thogdad 2-1 is a good prediction. I think I nearly went for that because Burnley, the last time they went away, well, apart from the Chelsea-Arsenal games lately, it was a 3-2 loss. They do like to fight. Jaden Anthony's got a goal in him. I'll go different. I back Brentford that little bit more.
Sunderland against AFC. Bournemouth is 7th against 8th, and 2 sides who have impressed everyone this season. Now, Sunderland didn't offer anything against Fulham, but they are a good home team, and you get the feeling they're trying to stay in this league with their home form. Bournemouth, a really good comeback against West Ham United, could have easily have snatched 3 points at the depth, but they struggle a lot on their travels. So what you've got here is a good home team against a poor away team. But having said that, I've just got a feeling this is going to be a 1-1 draw.
Yes, a long way to the northeast, and it's a cracker. Sunderland, Bournemouth. I tell you why it's a cracker. You can't predict it. Bournemouth, they can perform under Iraola. We know that. Sunderland at home, incredible. Ballard's ready. Issador's not so ready. He's gone 3 games now without a goal. Maybe this is the fixture for him to knock back since Chelsea away. Sunderland need a result. They've had a little bit of a hiccup. They've not been as good, losing 1-0 to Fulham. A few draws at home that they probably should have won, like the Everton game. So maybe this is their time. Probably their time because Bournemouth don't have Semenyo. Despite that, Krupi is here to shine, but I'm not going to back him to win. I'm going to back the Mackhams. I'll go different to you, Thogdad. Sunderland 1, Bournemouth 0. They're going to get back to winning ways, and it's going to help me win the Premier League predictions points table. Come on.
Manchester City against Leeds United is 3rd against 18th. It's Lancashire against Yorkshire. It's 2 teams who lost last weekend. Now, Manchester City against Newcastle, their finishing was woeful. The main culprits, Phil Foden and Erling Braut Haaland. How they came away from that game with nothing, I will never know. But their home form is spectacular. They've won the last 7 in a row in all competitions, and they're playing a Leeds side who lost last weekend against Villa despite going ahead and who really get very little on the road. They'll have memories of that 5-0 defeat away at the Emirates. This is going to be very one-sided. It's going to be Man City 3, Leeds United 0.
Yes, the Etihad, the place of nightmares right now for the Blues, well, the light Blues fans, because they just lost to Leverkusen. They just lost, well, another home game, which was a bit of a stinker. Like Calfreezy would say. City are back-to-back losses. Can you believe that? Terrible. So the Newcastle game was in St. James's Park, of course, but still, not a good result for them. Haaland has been rested against Leverkusen, but 30 minutes of game time could not change it. They still lost 2-0, which was a bit pathetic, to be honest. They need to find a way to get back to it. They looked very top-heavy when Leverkusen broke them down. It felt like there was no defense. It felt like the season of last year with Man City and all their issues, and maybe that could be creeping back in. So Leeds need to compromise. But my God, this is one of the easiest Premier League calendar fixtures, and Leeds are out of form, so I cannot back them. I think City have to win this game. I'm going to give Leeds a goal because City are curtains right now. City 3, Leeds 1. High-scoring match, I can see that for sure, but how can I back Leeds when they're 4 losses in 5 matches? I'm sorry.
Everton against Newcastle United is 11th against 14th. It's another northern clash between two teams who won last game week. Now, Everton were absolutely superb against Man United at Old Trafford after that red card for Guehi, who decided he wanted to have a fight with Michael Keane. But for the rest of the match, I thought Pickford was astonishing. Dewsbury Hall, what a goal. The likes of Tarkowski and Keane were brilliant. So full marks to Everton. Everton fans have been writing to me saying, show our team a little bit more respect. Newcastle, a good win against a wasteful Manchester City. Harvey Barnes did the damage, but you look at Newcastle away from home, they have lost the last 3 games on the road. But despite that, I just have to go with a 1-1 draw.
Yes, over to the Northwest. Thank you, Thogdad. Everton Newcastle, a very tough game to call. Well, I'll narrow down the stats for you. There's going to be no Ghana Gay because he decided to have a scrap with his teammate Michael Keane. But my God, Keano turned into a brilliant player from that moment on at Old Trafford, like all the Keane seem to do, just like the history, the old days. But what a performance to hold off. The 1-0 win, excellent. To go back to their stadium, fans will be riled up, positive, ready to go. The Geordies just lost to Marseille. Surely this goes Everton's way. They got a boomeranged. Aubameyang with a brace in Europe, but at least that was a Tuesday kickoff. They can get back, refresh, and they didn't even play Walter Marder. He was rested, so Eddie Howe has a couple tricks up his sleeve. He's not going to go back-to-back losses. This is a game I'm actually going to favour the Geordies. You probably didn't expect it the way I welcome this story, but I think they're going to find a way. 2-1, Walter Marder, winner. WW.
Tottenham Hotspur against Fulham now is 9th against 15th. A tasty London derby. Spurs first. And they've got 1 point in the last 3 games. They're in a mini slump. And they've got this weird poor home record. And they're playing a Fulham team who seem to be doing enough at home to stay in the Premier League. A good win against Sunderland. 23 shots in that game. But they struggle on the road. And for that reason, I think this is going to be Spurs 2, Fulham 1.
Yes, back to North London and 2 London teams, Dad. I am so upset with Tottenham. They let me down in the North London derby. They were average, second to the Bulls. It didn't feel like a derby. It didn't look like a derby. And honestly, that match has lost credibility. Even for Arsenal fans gassing it up, I'm sorry. Yeah, you won. It was like you played Burnley at home. It was awful. I mean, I know Eze scored the hat-trick. Yeah, he nearly went to Tottenham, all this, fine. I get the storyline, and they are your neighbours after all. But Tottenham were pathetic. They lacked some actual class. They missed Kulusevski and Maddison. Richarlison felt on his own at times, and even on his own scored a banger. Palhinha made a few good challenges, but the midfield had a whole hole in it. Arsenal looked way above them in all regards, and I cannot back Tottenham to even beat Fulham at home now. I can see a repeat of December 2024, similar time fixture in the calendar year, and a similar result. Tottenham 1, Fulham 1. I think Jimenez will score again and hold them out. They don't need R9. Rodrigo Munoz. They're going to do enough here to get a result. I have a feeling. Marco Silva, make it true.
Crystal Palace against Manchester United is 5th against 10th. 2 teams dreaming of getting into Europe. Now, Palace have been brilliant this season. Only 2 games lost in the league. Only 9 goals conceded. They've got to be the favourites here. And they're playing a Man United team who were having such a good run. Then they drew a couple of games and then they lost to 10-man Everton. Now, I know the stats look all right. They had 23 shots, but I think Man United were mediocre. They didn't look as if they were going to score a goal. And I'm going to repeat this again and again. Man United this season are a mid-table club, and this is going to be a mid-table 1-1 draw.
Yes, over to South London, Crystal Palace, Manchester United. One of those games where you just think, Palace got to win. Like, I know that they've got European football and United are just chilling, resting, recovering, and they need that recovery time, especially off the back of a terrible loss to Everton. Don't get me started. I mean, 10 men Everton. Oh, jeez. I mean, United Strand. I mean, my hair's long, but bloody hell. at least I can go down and get a haircut. And for Palace, I predict that they come away from Strasbourg maybe with a 1-1 or a 0-0. They'll be looking to get back to winning ways. The travel and the game time, it's not bad for the match fitness of the players that play, the likes of Daniel Munoz, Mateta. They'll be ready to cook again. And they're at home. And I cannot bet against Glasner's Crystal Palace at Selhurst Park. This is going to be a home win. And I know Thogdad won't agree with me. I'm sure he's either going for a draw or United win. I'm going to go for Palace 2-1. Mateta, boom!
West Ham United against Liverpool now is 17th against 12th. It's an interesting clash between two teams in the bottom half of the table. Now, West Ham United have got 7 points in the last 3 games, and that's pulled them out of the relegation zone. It could so easily have been 9 points. They went 2-0 up against Bournemouth and let it slip. Good to see Callum Wilson getting a brace of goals. Liverpool, what can we say? 4 defeats out of 5 in the league. 20 shots against Nottingham Forest, but none of them went in the onion bag. So to lose at home to Nottingham Forest 3-0 is unthinkable by Liverpool standards. But I'm going to repeat myself. Liverpool have not become a bad side overnight. At some point, they start winning again. At some point, the likes of Florian Wirtz, who, by the way, is a very good footballer, will come good. So I'm going to go West Ham United 1, Liverpool 2.
Staying in London, yes, and the eastern side, Thogdad, West Ham, Liverpool, solid game. I don't think it'll be another 5-0 Liverpool, I'll tell you that for free. Liverpool are very hit and miss, and even if they did smash PSV, which I don't know, I'm recording it before, in the Premier League, they've just lost 3-0 to Nottingham Forest, and you can't just forget that. You cannot forget the last few weeks for Onslaught. It's been a nightmare. Premier League title race probably out the window, and even if they do win this game, I reckon they'll be focusing on Champions League. I really do. It's tough times, and West Ham, solid draw at Bournemouth, could have been a win. They were in the lead. Callum Wilson will be licking his lips. They've had some very good wins at home over the last few weeks. Nuno Espirito Santo will want this now. He's built momentum. He's ready to go. I'm going to sit on the fence here. I should be backing West Ham to win 2-1, but I'm going to go for a 2-2. But both teams score, and if I would back anyone, it'd be West Ham. I really mean that. 2-2 for now.
Aston Villa against Wolverhampton Wanderers is 4th against 20th. 2 teams from the Midlands.
Maybe the easiest prediction of the day, Thogdad. Let's get straight to, come on, Midlands, Aston Villa Wolves. I can't back Rob Edwards the way they performed in that recent game. And Villa are winning everything at home. They're playing in Europe at home. They're playing in the Premier League at home. This perfect calendar for Unai Emery as the weather gets colder. And the form has been great. Morgan Rogers has been on fire. Buendia, the team looks great. And the only thing they need is Ollie Watkins to start scoring. And then they might be a bit unstoppable, pal. And I think it could be in this game. Imagine, you look at this fixture. Wolves look weak, dampened down. They don't think they're really up for it. You need your striker to score goals. This is the one! You know, not to say it's like that England-Netherlands game where he scored that last-minute winner. I don't think it will take a last-minute winner. They'll be scoring goals. I mean, it's a question of 3, 4, or 5. And I'm going to go 3-0. I'm sure my dad will probably go for less, but I think it could be more.
Aston Villa, what a comeback. 4 wins out of 5. And last week against Leeds, it was Morgan Rogers doing all the damage. And it gets worse for Wolves because Villa have won the last 6 home games. And you look at Wolves this season, pitiful. 2 points, only 7 goals scored. And if you look at the last 6 away games, they've only scored 1. So this could be a cricket score, but I'm going to go easy on them and say Aston Villa 2, Wolves 0. Nottingham Forest against Brighton and Hove Albion is 16th against 6th. 2 more teams who won last game week, and Nottingham Forest 7 points in 3 games to take them out of the relegation zone. And that victory at Anfield was historic, but they're playing a Brighton team who are fresh from that victory over Brentford, the battle of the owners. What a brilliant win that was. The trouble with Brighton is their away form. Now, I was there to see them beat Chelsea at Stamford Bridge. They were superb in that second half, but they haven't won away from home since that day. So I'm going to sit on the fence here and say Nottingham Forest 1, Brighton 1.
Yes, staying in the Midlands, East Midlands to be precise. Nottingham Forest, Brighton, and I'm not clapping for the NHS, I'm clapping for Sean Dyche. Incredible. What a win. 3-0 at United? Liverpool. Shouldn't have made that mistake. Ooh, red colour, but very different place. So, what a result for Sean Dyche and his lads out there. Incredible. I mean, not just to stop at 1-0 and sit back, but to keep going. Great tactics. And, finally, Forest have got the manager that they need. Didn't give much time to Nuno, but clearly it's working for Dyche. And they're playing at home against Malmo, then they're back at home against Brighton. It's back-to-back home games, and that's what they need. They can get on a running streak here. They can keep up the winning, and they will keep up the winning. This will be low scoring, don't get you wrong. And maybe I should give Brighton some respect. Well done for beating Brentford at home, 2-1. They were better. I give it to them. But away from home, hit and miss, hard to predict with Hazenhüttl. So, yeah, a 1-0 Sean Dyche masterclass. And credit to Sean Dyche, 3 of the 4 defenders contributed at Old Trafford. I've done it again. At Anfield. I've done it again. Why do I keep making that mistake? But brilliant. Sean Dyche, his defenders are turning up for him. Excellent. And I think they will keep winning. If something's going well, why would you change it? Forest 1, Brighton 0.
And last but not least, it's second against first. It's Chelsea versus Arsenal.
Wow, what a game, Thog Dad. I'm excited for this one.
This is game of the week. This is one of the games of the season. Now, Chelsea in very good form at the moment. Job done at Turf Moor against Burnley. And it's good to see Pedro Neto in such fine form. But the problem with Chelsea is consistency. Every now and again, they'll mess up against a Sunderland or a Brighton, and they're playing a team, Arsenal, who are not making mistakes at the moment. They were rampant in the North London derby against Spurs. Eberici Eze was magnificent.
Comment down below before we give our prediction what you think's going to happen in this. It's a bit of a tight contender now. Will Chelsea get a win to stop Arsenal, or will Arsenal just keep going? Because Chelsea are great and they smashed Barca, but there's a lot of holes in that Barca team that Arsenal do not have those holes. And they look incredible and they look their best ever chance to win the Premier League. So it shouldn't stop now. The big question is, Cole Palmer, is he back? Because apparently he's got some other injury. I don't know what for or how. You know, he's still around the team. He's getting ready. Even if he plays a few minutes, gets the fans riled up. But right now they need Esteval. 90 minutes. He's excellent. What a player. They let him cook. They invested heavily on so many wingers. Some of them are crap, like Garnacho. He's not going to be a game changer. But I tell you what, Mudryk, you're probably never going to see the pitch again in the Premier League. But they kept investing heavily. And they've got Esteval from Palmeiras. They let him have that season with him. Club World Cup, watched him. He was excellent. I knew they'd be onto something. And now, wow, those goals that we saw against Barcelona, the cut in, the turn, the finish, the shed end, just everything about that goal and that sequence was just great to see. I'm not just saying it because I'm wearing blue. I genuinely think Chelsea are playing Arsenal at the right time. Maresca's going to be fired up. The training ground is going to be riled. Everyone's going to believe in Chelsea when they come into this Arsenal game. And it could be a bit of a surprise if Palmer's back. I don't know if he will, but if he will, I think Chelsea can win this game. I think they can stop Arsenal. A lot of people, like my dad, are probably saying Arsenal to win. Let's roll the clip.
So I've just got to say there's one winner here. Chelsea 1, Arsenal 2.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. Arsenal to win 2-1 is a fair bet, Dad, but I feel like Chelsea just have to stop Arsenal because right now, if anyone can, it's them. They're in a good position. They're at the bridge. And I think they will. They'll find a way. Against Barcelona, things were going against them. Decisions weren't going their way. They kept going. They got the win. And right now, that midfield of Enzo Fernandez, Caicedo looks great. The forward line looks brilliant. They look exciting, scoring goals. I think this is a 1-1 draw. I'll sit on the fence. Both teams to score. Maybe a 0-0, low-key. Like, it's reverse psychology. These big games, teams get a bit more scared. It's so much on the line. A 0-0 is possible, but I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw. Sorry to be boring, but I know I'm going to get the points to stay above Dog Dad in the league table. And that is it. Comment down below your thoughts. I want to hear first goal scorer, a full-time prediction. You know, go bold, go different to me and my dad. Go more goals, and you'll win a Mars bar. I'll be sending you a Mars bar. Yeah, you, if you get it right. Those two things. And right now I'm in Doha. I'm going to go watch another title race, but it's McLaren versus Red Bull. Verstappen coming up to Piastri and Lando Norris. Disqualified last time, but this time not. Let's find out in Doha. Main channel video coming soon. Subscribe and we'll see you in a bit. Bye-bye.